At 72, Margaret had always been the one who showed up. She brought the casserole to the family reunion. She remembered every birthday, even for the cousins she hadn't seen in years. And every Sunday, she'd dress in something nice, bring a small gift or dessert, and drive to visit someone. Her sister, an old friend, a neighbor who'd lost a spouse. But something started to shift. One morning, sitting at her kitchen table with her hands wrapped around a warm cup of coffee, Margaret caught herself sighing, not out of tiredness but from something deeper. She realized she just didn't feel like going anymore. Not today, not this time, and maybe not again. At first, she thought it was guilt. Was she becoming distant? Was she slipping into loneliness? But as she gave herself permission to pause, Margaret began to see things more clearly. Every visit, though well-meant, came with a hidden cost. The small talk had grown stale. The gossip felt heavier, and many conversations were one-sided. She'd listen for hours, smile politely, and leave without anyone truly asking how she was doing. She wasn't being rude, she was being honest, finally. What used to energize her now left her emotionally drained. So she began setting gentle, quiet boundaries. And for the first time in years, she felt like she could breathe. Margaret also noticed something else. Time had changed. Not in the ticking of clocks, but in how she valued it. There were only so many peaceful mornings left to sip her coffee by the window. Only so many books she wanted to read, or little walks she could take with her favorite straw hat. The 3-hour round trip to visit her cousin, she used to make it out of love. But now, that same time felt better spent sketching by the lake or watching the birds outside her garden. She wasn't pulling away. She was pulling inward, toward the things that made her feel alive. After 70, even short outings began to feel like uphill climbs. She'd come home exhausted from what used to be a simple gathering. Not just tired in her legs, but weary in her bones. She started noticing how long it took to recover from visits, the stiff chairs, the noisy rooms, the food that upset her stomach, the parking lot with uneven gravel. It all added up. Her body wasn't asking for permission anymore. It was giving clear signals. And Margaret, for once in her life, decided to listen. She chose rest over effort, comfort over obligation, and peace over pretense. Over time, Margaret learned something she'd never been taught in her younger years. Her emotional energy was just as valuable as her time. She no longer poured herself into relationships out of habit or guilt. She didn't feel the need to explain why she wasn't attending a birthday party or why she wasn't making that monthly visit anymore. And something surprising happened. In that stillness, without all the visits, all the expectations, Margaret didn't feel lonely. She felt free. Free to say no, free to choose herself, free to spend her days how she wanted, not how others expected. One Sunday, her daughter called and asked, "Are you coming to Aunt Linda's today?" Margaret smiled gently and said, "Not today, love. I think I'll stay home and watch the garden bloom. It brings me peace." And that was that. Now, at 75, Margaret's world is quieter, but richer, smaller, but more sacred. She still loves deeply. She still shows up, but only when it feels right. And she hopes others will understand. But even if they don't, she's learned the most important truth of all. You don't need to be everywhere to matter. You just need to be true to yourself. So if you found yourself visiting others less after 70, just like Margaret, know this: you're not broken. You're becoming whole in a new, beautiful way. If Margaret's story resonated with you, let us know in the comments below. Have you felt this shift in your own life? What have you chosen to let go of, and what have you gained in return? If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. You're not alone on this journey. And remember, aging isn't something to hide. It's a blessing.